We learn more about the gunman's violent past, his connection to the church, and the cache of ammunition found there at the scene. Our Adam Housley is live outside First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs, Texas, with the very latest. Adam.
Yeah, Jackie, a lot of information came out here yesterday as the investigation continues. It'll be going on for days and days, we're told, by not only local authorities, but federal authorities as well. And not only here on site, but throughout South Texas. We've now also been told that the Air Force has opened up an investigation of their own as to why the information about the conviction of the gunman was not passed along to the FBI. He was convicted back in 2012 of beating up his ex-wife and also cracking the skull of his infant stepson. Again, that information did not get passed along, and they want to know why. And that is part of this investigation. We do know that two weapons were purchased at the Academy Sports location here in the San Antonio area, not far, about 30 miles from where we are now. And in both times, he passed a background check when he purchased those two weapons. Meantime, that all comes as the hero that we've heard about, Stephen Williford. He was the man who lived across the street. His daughter said he heard gunshots, and he's the one that basically saved lives by opening fire and engaging the suspect. He spoke to local news last night for the first time, breaking his silence. Take a listen.
People at that church, they're friends of mine. Their family. And every time I heard a shot, I knew that that probably represented a life. I was scared to death.
Scared to death, but unafraid and shoeless, he ran out of the house with that rifle and engaged a suspect, hitting him twice, once between his armor and once in the leg. He then flagged down a car, a truck, I should say, driven by Johnny Langendorf, one of the other heroes of on Sunday, and together they chased the suspect about 10 miles from here until the shooter, not the suspect, until the shooter lost control of his car, went into a ditch, and then took his own life. They met up last night, and Jackie, it's just one of the many stories here. There are still, a lot of people, 15 people in the hospital recovering from the shooting. And, of course, the death toll is at 26. Jackie?
A true definition of a hero right there, clearly shaken up. We appreciate your time this morning. Thank you, Adam.
All right.
Well, he wanted to kill all white police officers at the White House. Now a Texas man is behind bars. Cops in Maryland say Michael Arregua's wife tipped them off after he allegedly stopped taking his medication and wrote the threatening message on Facebook. Secret Service agents later found and arrested him steps away from the White House. He was not armed and faces charges for making felony threats. And another major security bust when police uncover a man's arsenal of deadly weapons. Investigators say they found a, quote, van load of guns, explosives, and grenades at Edward Reese's home in upstate New York after his wife tipped them off about Reese wanting to kill himself. She claims he's a military veteran who suffers from PTSD. Reese was found hiding out in a motel room and faces multiple charges this morning. President Trump's former campaign aides accused of conspiring against the United States will remain on house arrest. Paul Manafort and Richard Gates must wear GPS monitoring devices but are allowed to travel locally. Both men pleading not guilty to charges stemming from conspiracy, money laundering, and failing to register a foreign agent. The indictments do not mention President Trump or alleged Russian meddling in the 2016 election. Both men will be back in court next month to discuss a trial date. All eyes on Virginia today and the high-stakes race for governor there. Republican Ed Gillespie and Democrat Ralph Northam facing off in the race that could have major implications for President Trump's agenda. Our Griff Jenkins is live in Washington, D.C. with the latest there. Hey, good morning, Griff.
Good morning, Jackie. It's going to come down to the wire. They're running neck to neck. Democrat Ralph Northam with a slight lead over Republican Ed Gillespie in a state that went for Clinton last year. If you look at that poll here, the former RNC chairman did not campaign with President Trump, but received his endorsement And the president tweeting yesterday, quote, "The state of Virginia economy under Democrat rule has been terrible. If you vote Ed Gillespie tomorrow, it will come roaring back." Northam, who campaigned with former President Obama, sought to make President Trump a liability for Gillespie.
We watched a campaign in 2016, one that was embarrassing for this country, but it was also a campaign that was based on a lot of hatred and bigotry and discrimination and fear.
But likely voters in our poll showed that it was health care, the economy, and education at the top, Confederate monuments at the bottom. Then there was a Northam ad by the Latino Victory Fund group, which may have turned some voters off depicting a pickup truck with a Gillespie bumper sticker chasing down minority children. Ultimately, it's going to come down to turnout, and Gillespie says he's confident.
I'm confident we're going to. I can feel the momentum everywhere we're going, and I've been everywhere over the course of the past, well, certainly the past year, but just in the past week, and I can tell you the crowds have been great.
But Jackie, history has not been on Gillespie's side. In 9 of the last 10 elections, voters picked a governor opposite the president's party.
All right, thank you. We're going to talk a little bit more about this later in the show. Thanks, Griff. More Democrats calling foul after new emails show how far former FBI Director James Comey went to protect Hillary Clinton.
It's rotten. The entire Democratic Party stinks from the head down. It strengthens my call and that of others for a special prosecutor.
The infighting among Democrats reaching a new level. Just hours from now, President Trump making his first speech by U.S. president in Korea in decades. Our next guest breaks down the message he needs.
Well, so look, the cleaner said you could pick it up tonight at 6.
We can probably relate to that. If you're up early with us, this one's for you.